All right. So I just well, I didn't just finish volume. So I finished volume 7 a little bit ago, but that's off on a cliffhanger. So I wanted to figure out when it's happening. But I did end up reading volume 7. I started off. My man's Tim is a Tim. I ain't gonna lie, dog. At the beginning of this stuff, they were talking about how like before like Timma, cause like we eventually know that Timma and Eva get together before they eventually separate. And Eva like Eva pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie at the beginning, but like now that I'm in this one, she doesn't piss me off as much. But um. Tim and Loki and Sam, like there was a time like they went on a date and like she just like he was like putting like a blanket down and then she was like, no, fuck your blanket. She kicked the rocks out. Well, she kicked the rock. I don't know how she kicked the rock. She just kicked the rock out the way and it's like I was like, yo, Timma, because I eventually we eventually know as I said, Timma eventually gets with evil. So I was like, Timma really tolerated with that for like a while, and it was like it was kind of weird to me, but also I didn't realize like Roberto was still alive. I assumed that he like shot him in the head because of the way he fell. It looks like he shot him in the head with the way he fell. I was like, oh, and then Roberto's still alive somehow. I don't know how. Yeah, I assume he was not that injured. It's like he fell from a pretty high place too. I don't know. It seems like this manga has a thing where like if you fall from a high place, like you're not really guaranteed to die. Same thing like that one kid earlier that was like they were like jumping off like a roof or something and like they were like not dying. But people fall from high places and they don't die. But moving on. Also I feel like Tim was too much of a good guy to be honest. Like there was a the point of the way he got out of prison basically is that he decided that because if he was going to stay in prison, then or if he was he that basically if Johan's plan was for Timma to not actually get stuck in prison, and they were going to kill Eva because she has information that can exonerate. I completely forget how it works, but basically Johan comes to the conclusion, or not Johan, Timma comes to the conclusion that he is going to take the fall and like accept every single thing. So like at this point they kind of have to find Johan, which it was they're gonna have to do that regardless. But like he was gonna take the blame for everything, and he ended up doing that. So the world is under the assumption now that if they had any doubts, now they're under the assumption that Timma is a murderer. But they already kind of knew that before. It's not really that big of a deal. I guess he's more known now, so he can't really walk around that much because there was a situation where he did go into like this place, and he eventually ended up getting recognized. I don't know how he didn't recognize him at first because like it was kind of big news at the time because he like literally just now escaped. But Timma is now officially guilty of the crimes according to the public. And then the last thing, also I actually don't really mind how he escaped. I was kind of mad. So they literally like right when Timma got to jail, they introduced this guy who basically just is notorious for just breaking out of prison. I actually don't mind how he escaped. Like I thought that they were like I thought they were gonna make me mad with how they did it, but I actually don't mind how. Yeah, I actually like how they did it. It was kind of decent. And then the last thing is Johan's playing Johan's World Without Names. I don't know what that means to be honest. I have two more volumes left. As I said, I started volume 8 a little bit. I don't really know what the World Without Names means. Also don't know how his sister has so much information on experiences that I assume that only he experienced. Also don't really understand the timeline with him and his sister because I'm assuming what happened at the place where at the mansion that happened before his sister ended up shooting him in the head because he asked for her to shoot him in the head. Something that happened before, but like they don't really give they maybe they do. I'm just not really paying that much attention to like the time that they're giving, but like I don't really know. I need like a more timeline as far as what's happening right now. But I have two more volumes left. I'm assuming all the questions that I have, not that I have like actual questions. I'm assuming there's going to be a good resolution towards the end of this. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue reading. Okay, just finished volume 8. Honestly, I didn't really gain anything from this. It basically just talked about how Johan's working with bad people, and I'm assuming like he's not working with good people, so like that doesn't really help the story. I feel like that much. And then the story just basically coming to a climax. It's just building all up to the last volume. They talked a little bit about how they can basically absolve Timma of the crimes that he didn't commit. A part of this and part of that in the volume, but like outside of that, nothing really big here. Yeah, he's cutting off certain people that he doesn't want to associate with too, I guess. But it seems like they're delving more into like the past as far as like the whole like they went like all the way back to the beginning before he was even born as far as like his mother and stuff like that. But I'm gonna just read the final volume. I mean, I have like one more left, so I have no reason to stop reading now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into that. Hopefully, it comes all into a good ending. We'll see what happens though. All right. So I just now finished Monster, and I have my final thoughts on it right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Um, in my opinion, I feel like the whole climax part towards the end, in my opinion, like the whole story is about a doctor basically say the serial killer, and then the doctor has to end up finding the serial killer and determine throughout the story whether or not he feels it's right for him to actually end up killing the serial killer that he ended up saving, or to let him go. I'm not sure what the whole let him go. Maybe turn him into the police, something like that. The whole premise was whether or not Timo was going to either kill Johan or just allow Johan to continue living. I feel like towards the end of the series, there was no chance that Timo was going to kill Johan. Timo actually didn't kill anybody this whole series. It actually was kind of crazy considering Roberto survived, but I feel like there should have been, or maybe I'm just the only one, but like I feel like there was no chance Tim was going to kill Johan in the ending. I'm not completely sure why. I might have to like go back to it and make like a deeper analysis on it. But like I didn't feel like Tim was going to kill Johan at the end. I might have to like, as I said, reread like the final couple chapters. But like I didn't feel like Tim was going to kill Johan at the end. So I feel like that kind of sold the ending for me at least. Because I feel like if it was like a situation where like, oh, Tim might kill him, Tim might not kill him, but I feel like towards the end, as I said, he didn't feel like he was going to kill him. Also, I think that Johan as an overall antagonist is kind of overrated. I didn't really feel like he did. He killed people. Like I feel like any antagonist can kill people. I feel like most what's the name characters in stories can kill people. Like, there are many characters in story who just kill people. Like I don't feel like he did anything really groundbreaking, in my opinion. And then outside of that, I feel like the last volume, like it was pretty dope. Like the whole side character, I don't really talk about side characters. So I feel like it's gonna be a long video regardless. But like the whole side characters thing, generally most of the side characters are pretty dope. Like the guy with the big bag, I didn't really talk about him because I said I this video is gonna be way too long if I talk about every single side character. But the guy with the big bag, he was decent. The other side characters like his sister, Johan's sister, actually ended up being a lot more interesting than I thought she would be in the beginning, especially with the whole ending. And then having like she was decent as well. Dieter, I don't think I talked about Dieter like a single second throughout this whole thing, but I feel like Dieter was overall pretty good side character as well. But yeah, I feel like Johan as an overall antagonist is kind of overrated. And then the takeaways, I feel like the main takeaway is about like the same thing like Dieter like continues to say throughout like the whole series, is like maybe you had like bad memories before, but you always have time to make good memories. I feel like that's like the main takeaway this whole series kind of wants you to remember, because they say like so many times, and they say all lives are equal. They always say all lives are equal in like the beginning, like the last couple chapters, but like they don't really stick with the whole all lives are equal type thing, but the whole series. I will say, towards the ending right there, like Johan like pops up, like Tima's like after he talks to Johan's mother. Towards the end, I thought for a while I thought that was old dude Sook's mother, but like it wasn't. I was like, who the heck is this? Because I haven't seen her before. I was like, who is this? But in the ending when he talks to Johan's mother, I feel like not I feel like at there when he goes back to the hospital, like I was like reading, I was like laying down and I was like flipping the pages. Like if you read it, like that all of a sudden like Johan just pops up out of nowhere. I feel like that whole thing was fake because he was like just laying there the whole time. But like after that, because like he even has his eyes open. I feel like if he had his eyes open, then that would mean that what Tim experienced was real. But I feel like what Tim experienced right there at the ending was not a real thing, that actually not a real interaction between him and Johan. It might have happened like before, but like in the situation right there, I don't think that actually happened when Timo went to go visit Johan. I don't think Johan just randomly just popped up out of nowhere and then just laid back down, closed his eyes, and just apparently got back up at a later date. Apparently he's going somewhere now. I don't know where he's going. I don't really care, to be honest, where he's going. I'll hope that he's not killing any more people, but like, at the end of the day, like it's a fictitious world, so like he can kill more fake people that don't actually exist. And I guess you know what? Let me not say that because he wants to. Never mind. Let me not get into that because I feel like I'm leading into something right there. But yeah, I feel like um my favorite part of the series were the various side stories, as far as like Timma coming into like a situation where people need help and then he's just helping them and leaving a positive impact on them, like he did with like the whole village thing. As I mentioned it before, but like the old man and the little girl at the beginning, I feel like one of the things, I feel like the series peaked at volume 1. Like I feel like the whole premise thing led you on pretty well. The two side stories with not really a side story, but like a pretty kind of a side story with Mauer, and that's it, the old man one right there. And then the people at the end that wanted to come to the rescue for Timma. Those people like kind of matter like in the end, but like when they were was saying when Tim was about to go to jail, but like at the end of the day they didn't really matter that much. But the people at the end, in the beginning of volume 1 was pretty good as well. I feel like, as I said, the series peaked at volume 1. The whole stuff in between was it was good and all. It was decent. But I wouldn't say like the series like went on a higher peak after volume one. And then the other thing that I really feel like I guess we'll go to the least favorite part of the series. I feel like my least part of the series has to be the whole superior race people like the baby character with the various other people. Like that whole volume in general was like in my opinion that wasn't really as entertaining. I feel like it took like a large portion of the ending as well. I feel like it would have been way better if they just cut it off in that volume where like all those people came in like they were trying to burn down the whole city and they ended up like you have to use a rug. I feel like they would just cut it off in that volume right there. I wouldn't really have that much of a problem with it, but it seemed like they kind of leaned into it toward more towards the ending when it feels like it was obvious in that volume that Johan would just like didn't really want to be a part of that. But I feel like that was another thing right there. And then I feel like outside of that, I feel like that's really all I have to say about this series. I would overall give this series. I feel like actually I'm not gonna give this series a rating because I feel like if it's too low, people are gonna get mad because I feel like my rating is about to be too low. But yeah. Also, outside of that, I feel like Lunch felt like he deserves a more drawn out ending. Kind of like I feel like Lunch could have gotten the ending that Mauer wanted to get, but he ended up not getting because he ended up dying. I feel like Lunch could have gotten that type of ending, but maybe like people feel like that they were like repeating the same thing. But I feel like Lunch could have gotten a better ending as far as like it relates to his family because like we know at this point that Lunch is still in contact with his family, but he's not really in contact. He doesn't talk to them directly. He talks to them through email. So um, I feel like Lunch could have gotten a better, more drawn out ending because it seemed like he was like the character to replace like the whole what Mauer ended up doing in the first volume. But I feel like Lunch didn't really get that as well. Also, I didn't really mention this throughout the whole thing. I feel like Eva, her character should have evolved to the point where it is right now after that one volume where she like goes like where she's like with Roberto and then she's about to go shoot him and then she at the end of the volume she's in him like sitting down like that old I believe like a crime boss or something where she ends up sitting down like the whole crime boss and then I feel like her character should evolve to the point where it is right now or in that volume because I feel like the point of where her character was from right there to where it is when she shows back up. I'm not completely sure what volume it is. It might be in like volume six. To where she shows back up. I feel like her character didn't really change at all. I feel like it kind of like went in reverse. It seemed like she was progressing her character in the forest when she was like looking for Timma, and then she ended up like regressing back to where she was before. So I feel like her character kind of should have evolved at that period right there because it really didn't really make sense when her character showed back up and she was like doing like the same things that she was doing like before. But yeah, that is basically my overall thoughts on the series. Yeah, that's basically it. I guess I'll go into. I have to really think about if I would recommend this series. Would I recommend this series? Honestly, um, it depends on how fast you read. Honestly, like if it depends on how fast you read and how much time you have. I don't really feel like this series is a series that you need to go pick up because it's like groundbreaking or anything. Um, I would say that it's something that you can like really put off to the side if you like catch it on sale or something like that. If you have like an opportunity, like a lot of time, maybe you can watch the anime. I'm not sure how good the anime is overall, but maybe you can watch like the anime if you want to do that as well. But if you have like a decent amount of time and you find that you catch the series on sale, then I would maybe recommend picking it up. Am I going to pick it up? I was thinking about that the whole time. Maybe the only reason I'll pick this series up is if I continue doing this whole YouTube thing as far as like reading manga stuff for a while. But like outside of that, I've already read the series. I don't really feel like I might end up reading like the last what's the name couple chapters at the end just so I can understand the ending a little bit more. But like I don't really feel like the series is something that I would really go back and reread like that. Maybe in the future I might end up changing my mind on that. But as of right now, I don't really feel like the series is something I would go back to like that. But yeah, that's basically going to be the end. Right there. Hopefully that's a good enough review for you guys about like if we should pick it up or not. But yeah, that's basically gonna be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely drop a like. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys have already read Monster. What are your thoughts? It'd be kind of weird if you haven't read Monster and you watch this video. Maybe I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning, maybe to tell you to read Monster first, or that I will be obviously giving out spoilers. But yeah, as I said, if you guys did enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe, and peace out.